All right, welcome. I'm your host, Joe Sova, and I'm so glad you're here. This is a special episode because we're coming back after a hiatus, and we have a new brand you may or may not have noticed, and it actually directly impacts the way you see your own business. So when you listen to this episode, after we're through here, you're going to realize that there's parts to your business that you may not be fully getting appreciation for, okay? In this episode, we're going to talk about all that. We're going to dive right into it. First, I'm going to talk about the changes we made on the podcast, and then we'll get into directly how that impacts you and your business. But you may or may not have noticed that the name of the show, the brand of the show, has actually changed. We were under the Ideal Small Biz podcast, which on the surface seems just fine, right? Nothing wrong with that. Pretty standard stuff. Nothing too crazy that we would have to change. But as we all do, right? As you grow and evolve in your business, I have as well. And some realizations hit me recently that that one word in there, small, has a huge impact when it comes to describing our business. All right. So we went from the Ideal Small Biz podcast. And again, you're going to see how this directly impacts your own business and how you see things very, very shortly in this episode. Now, you're probably asking yourself, well, okay, what's the big deal? Why does one word matter, right? Why are you taking small out of the, not only out of the name of the show, but I'm taking small out of my vocabulary when it comes to business, and you're about to find out why here. And this is the gist of it, all right? This is the summary of the entire episode. Now, stick around because we're going to get into detail on this that will really change the way you see things. But the main point of this episode, if you take nothing else away, take this. It's that there is nothing small about your business, all right? I'm going to slow down and repeat that because it's that important, all right? So there is nothing small about your business. Now, I get it, all right? Everybody uses the term small business. It's so common. It's by banks, right? It's in commercials. There's Small Business Saturday. There's an entire section of the government, right? An entire agency called this Small Business Administration. So I completely understand it. For crying out loud, my own podcast is called the Small Biz Podcast recently. Okay, so I get it. Everybody uses those terms. But let's consider this for a second. Your business is small compared to what? All right, is it small compared to the person working a 9-to-5 in a corporate job who doesn't even have a business? Right? Is your business, even if you're solo or if you have 10 or 100 employees, is that small business compared to the person that has zero business? I don't think so. Do you? Right? Small compared to what? Let's say you're the only employee. Are you small compared to the zero? Now let's say you hire somebody else, right? Now you have another employee. Are you small compared to the person that's working solo? If you have 10 employees, are you really small compared to the person that has one? If you have 100, are you small compared to the person that has 10, right? You see how this can go, right? Small compared to what? Who is judging what is small versus the alternative? Now, let's look at some facts, right? Statistics are 99.9% of U.S. businesses are quote-unquote deemed as small business, all right? That is virtually everybody is considered in that category, all right? These businesses employ, get ready, they employ 60 million people across the country, all right? And that's only in the U.S. That's 47% of all workers work in a quote-unquote small business, okay? 25 million of these businesses have zero employees, right? Zero. So that means, there's about 5 million that have less than 20. Are those really small businesses compared to the 25 million that have zero, right? And again, those 25 million that have zero, are those small compared to the tens of millions or hundreds of millions of people that don't even have a business at all? Okay, so you can see how that comparison is a broken strategy, isn't it? Right? Small compared to what? Now, let's look at this, the definition of small. Again, you're probably still saying to yourself, okay, Joe, I get it, but what's the big deal, right? And we'll get to that in a second. So stick with me here, all right? You're doing great. Stay with me. This is going somewhere, okay? But let's look at the definition of the word small. All right, this is what becomes important with how we use our language. All right, small by definition, it reduces size, right? It minimizes what it's describing, right? When you look it up, here's the exact definition I found. It's definition number one. There's two of them. Number one is of size that is less than normal or unusual. Do those stats I just gave you, does that seem less than normal when 99.9% of businesses are that way? Is that less than normal? Pretty sure 99.9% is much more than normal, okay? So of size that is less than normal or unusual. And definition number two, this one's going to hit home. So let this one sink in. Definition number two of small is insignificant, unimportant. Insignificant and unimportant. Does that describe your business? Think about that. Does that describe your business? Is your business insignificant and unimportant? So you can see how that word can be a problem when you describe your business that way. Let's look at it this way, all right? What you feed your mind is what you see over and over again, right? When you go and buy a new car, maybe you've experienced this. You buy a new car, it's a shiny red car. You didn't have a red car before, right? And you go to the car lot, you get your red car, you drive off the car lot, and suddenly what do you see everywhere? The same car, right? You see that exact same red car everywhere. You're like, wow, I never noticed that this car is so popular, right? It never hit you because that red car was not in your mindset, right? So what we see is what we continue to get, right? Research demonstrates this. It's a scientific fact, okay? So if we keep hearing that our business is small, it's, again, the definition is insignificant and unimportant. If that's the definition that we keep hearing, what is in our minds now? That our business is small. Is that the way you want to think of your business? Is that productive to think of your business as insignificant and unimportant? Probably not, right? You can probably relate that, hey, that's not a way I would describe my business. So as an entrepreneur, your business is probably your life, right? You've put in late nights. You've put in early mornings. You've put in weekends. You've done the blood, the sweat, the tears, right? You're juggling. You're putting out fires. You're spinning the plates. You're doing it all in your business. That is your life. You've dedicated everything you have to this business. If you're like most entrepreneurs, you've probably missed family events. You've ran late to meetings, right? You've lost sleep at night. You've gone in early. You've come in late, right? You ride that roller coaster of emotions and running that business up and down every single day. And you do it all the time. It's 24/7. It never shuts off, does it? Can you relate to that? Right? That's what running a business is. I know. I'm a business owner, so I know exactly what that's like, and you do too, right? That is significant. That is a part of your life. That is your life. And if you're like most entrepreneurs, that describes how you live, right? There's nothing small about that. Am I right? There's nothing small about your business. Your business provides jobs for your employees. It provides income for their families and for yours, right? It puts food on people's table. People rely on your business, not only for service, but for careers, right? For purpose, right? These businesses sponsor Little League teams, right? They pay for soccer practice and dance lessons. They provide the service that others need, right? They create jobs where there weren't any before for the employees that work there. They create purpose to come in every day and make a difference and drive meaning, right? It allows people, families, to be closer together. It supports the economy. It drives local environments, right? It creates more income into the economy where they're at. These businesses are anything but small, right? There's nothing small about any of that, is there? Your business is huge. Your business is extraordinary. You're doing something that most people only dream of doing, and you're living that every day. There's nothing small about that, right? Your business is expansive. It's growing. It's giving life. It's creating something that did not exist before. It's creating something that's bigger than yourself, right? You took something that didn't exist, and you created something new. That's incredibly significant, and there's nothing small about that. So at this point, you're saying, okay, Joe, you got us, right? There's nothing small about business. We understand, but what do we do next? How do we refer to ourselves, right? What's the positive spin on this? What can we do? And that's simple, right? You can look at yourself as a local, independent, expansive business. All right? When you're local, wherever you are, that can be anywhere in the world, literally, you impact people's lives, right? You create jobs. You give back to those economies where you're hiring employees. You might have employees across the country, and you're giving back to those economies there. Unless you're Walmart or Amazon or some of these huge Fortune 500s, right? And those all have their place, right? They do good things as well. But we're talking the impact of local, of hiring people and giving them freedom to pursue their purpose. So local business, independent business, you make the rules, right? You drive that boat. You're the captain of the ship when you're independent. You get to decide, I want to do X, Y, Z today, or 1, 2, 3. You get to decide how customers are serviced. You get to decide if you allow that employee to go pick their kids up from school, right? All of that, local, independent, is very significant and is huge for millions and millions of people across the world. There's nothing small about that, right? And we can own that. If you're the business owner or if you work in a local business, whatever it is, you can own that feeling. You can embrace that and live in that place where there's no stopping that business, right? Small business doesn't exist. Local independent business is important in lives, and it allows our wildest dreams to become reality, right? That's the American dream. It's what everything is built on. Small business doesn't exist. There's nothing small about business. When you're local independent business, you're doing something that the big corporate giants of your industry could never even think about doing when it comes to servicing your customers, helping your employees, and providing the lifestyle that you want, that you dream of, that you own. Local, expansive, independent business. That's what we are. That's who we serve. And that is the difference maker in this world. All right. There's nothing small about your business. Now, if you're the kind of person that this resonates with and you can say yes to this, right? This really hits home. Let's share this out there with somebody that needs it, right? Local business needs our support. We all know that. After the last 18 months and everything that's happening, local business needs our support. And that's why this podcast is here. That's why we do what we do, is to help you create your ideal business. So when you share this out there with others that need it, that need to hear this message, you're helping grow their business. You're helping support local. You're helping them create more impact in this world. And that's a pretty good thing to be, isn't it? You can also check out our website. When you go to our website, you'll find a lot of valuable tools and resources and some free information on expanding your business and building out your team and everything you need to do. So check out our website, joesovatraining.com. That's my name, Joe Sova, S-O-V-A, training.com. Check it out. When you go there, you'll be glad you did, because there's some really valuable information there. So share this episode, subscribe to the podcast, and check out our website. And let's support those independent, purposeful businesses. When business is created, there's a purpose behind it that's greater than all of us. The impact that is made, the impact the businesses have on lives around us. So those purposeful businesses, let's support them and do everything we can in the future. So again, thank you very much for being here. You are appreciated. I'm so glad you're here and listening, and I will catch you on the next episode. Thank you very much.